Let's continue on with our pearl project tonight. I've got the camera set up here. I think we can get a couple different angles in here and we'll get to see what I'm gonna have to do here. The very next thing I want to do is take off the oil lines here that squirt oil to these areas. One, so that these lines aren't in the way of anything. They have to come out here before I continue on, because we're going to be pulling things out of here and these things are all in the way. So we have a couple little fittings here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to dismantle all of those lines right there and get this cleared out. And then we'll get on to the spindle. We have a couple collars back here that got spanner holes and set screws. Those have got to come off. That sets the end thrust on the spindle. And we've been looking at the drawing where we have it pinned up here. And this gives it, we don't have an exploded view of out of anything that we have, we don't have an exploded view of this gearbox. We have a all together in line assembled photo of it. So, but we have a lot of things that are all called out in here, but this is what we're working with. All right. The the new camera and the audio issue was not my fault. It was default. We don't need to read them instructions, right? We just plug it in and go. Had to do a little programming, but now I'm able to go ahead and put my lapel mic in there and have it feed both of your ears. My brand of bullshit here. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and get a wrench and we'll start pulling these lines off of here. We pulled this out. This has got the long snout that actually comes over in front of this little sight gauge over here, and that's what you see pushing out the oil in that little gauge right there. So that's what I was looking at when I was checking to make sure that the thing had oil flow on here. And we saw this earlier. This is tie wired on here, so we'll have to cut that tie wire off of there. But I do want to okay, all right, this is undone here, okay. And then I had to pull this side out of here to get to that ferrule nut, or the fitting, I should say. Now this goes down and goes to the pump, and I'm wondering, the pump actually has two bolts here. I don't know if it bolts down underneath there or not. I'm gonna get my flashlight and my mirror, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna waste my time or not. And okay, I can see where the fitting goes in, and I really can't see if, maybe I can see it from this side over here. I'm trying to, Okay, this frame is just bolting to that pump, so I think what I can do is pull these two out of here, and then all right, okay. I don't know if I can get it out of here before the main spindle comes out of here, but that was kind of the thought. It might also have some pins in here. Sometimes underneath there's alignment pins or something like that that you don't really see. Nope. Okay. Doesn't mean it's going to come out, but okay. So we're not going to try to pull that out of there right now. And just so that it holds itself in place, we're going to put the screws back in. We don't have to tighten them up. We just want to hold the location of the thing. Okay. All right, we're rolling this over here. And let's see, we don't need all these gears engaged, right? I'm just going to freewheel it. Okay. And okay. All right, we got a keeper right here, and we got a tie wire right there because that keeper is missing as well. But this kind of wire thing is the same kind that I think needs to go up there. All right, so there's two pins right there, and then that probably keeps things from coming out this way here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull off these these spanner nuts on the back side here. All right, looks like 3/16. All right, let me get my spanner wrench. These are jerry-rigged a little bit there. They don't look like they look shallow. And that one there has a little piece of brass in there. And there's probably one down in this here. And that's so that they can swedge onto the thread and tighten it up. These rings right here may not be stock, they may be modified. All right. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna have to put it. We're gonna have to put it in gear now to give us something. There we go. Okay, that one. And hey, I think that just locked it right there. Okay. No. Well, without a motor and a belt on there, we're probably not going to be able to hold it through the gear train. So I think I'm going to have to get that chuck wrench again and put into the spindle square there. All right. All right, awesome. There's that bronze or brass piece there. All right, we're going to take the set screw that was in there, or this one of the set screws that was in there, and so we don't lose it. All right, now take the second one here. When we go to put this back together, this will be our adjustment for our thrust on our spindle. Okay, same thing, we're going to put that set screw that came with that. Okay, we're gonna go put these on the counter here because we're keeping things in order. Okay, looks like these are keyed on. Well, we just lost that. Key on each side of them. Okay, that one's probably got a slinger ring on it because I see two screws right here, and then there's a collar or a ring right here. All right, so we're gonna pull that off next. And these are little flathead set screws. Get my flashlight again. There's no other holes in it, so I don't believe it's a standard hole. Let me make sure that I'm just wiping the dirt because I want to see this. Okay, that's cylindrical right there. All right, and it looks like a straight line along that. There. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it with my rawhide mallet because I want to just create a little bit of forward direction on it. Okay. It did push out just slightly. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's wrap on this little gear here. I wanted to see if it comes back out or breaks that free. Okay, I'm probably not going to do it without this tie wire and this pin off of here. I got to get a little bit of motion to pop that little cap out of there because there's no way to actually grab it. I shouldn't say there's no way to grab it, but I don't believe that it would be enough to put this in here and try to catch that threads and pop it this way. I don't think so. All right, we're gonna go put this on our bench. Okay, took the tie wire off, that gear right there. These two set screws, we don't want to lose them. Alright, let's take a big screwdriver and let's just see if we can spin this pin here. Okay. Alright, there's threads in there, so that means that I can stick a little screw into it and probably pull that straight out. I also could probably turn it like that and reach in with my Leatherman and pull it out like that. But there is a threaded screw in there that could come out. Alright, let's roll it over here. Can we do the same thing here? Seemed to tighten it up when I was getting it. Okay, well maybe it'll be fine. Okay. Okay, that's how that gear locates on that shaft. I do see a punch mark on the shaft there. Okay, let's get a scribe and we'll get that one out. And we see a set screw here. But we're going to try to take everything apart that's actually holding them to the shaft, and then we're going to see if the shaft won't just go right out that front door there. Okay, we're just going to we're going to poke our finger. Okay, it wants to go out that way. We might as well let it go that way. There we go. Okay. Now we just need to push it. If we push it up there, it stays on the gear. We don't have to worry about it. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can find out what size thread that is. Almost looks like 1/4 20. Okay, I believe it's 1/4 20. I'm going to go get a 1/4 20 bolt so that I can use it in there. Hey, that's why you keep aluminum shims all around. All right. Nobody wants to screw that gear up. That's long. Those are longer than the back one. Had real short ones, okay? So these are a little bit longer. All right. And we're going to go get another bolt put in the other side. I'm not going to bother taking that out yet. Okay. Now that gear should be, that gear or that collar should be loose on that shaft. There is a set screw right here. That's the next thing we're going to pull. All right, that looks like quarter. That's a long one with a dog point. All right, our flashlight. Let's look in there. All right. We'll find out if we should have taken that out or not taken that out. Put that on the table. Okay, yeah. That floats. That floats. Okay, there's a... Okay. There is another set screw that's down underneath here that somebody has drilled into it. So I'm going to take it that that was a double set screw going in there, or a piece of aluminum or something, but it looks like it was drilled right there. So I'm almost tempted to think that you know what I'm tempted to think? I'm tempted to think that somebody tried to take this all the way out and failed to get this to go anywhere. And I may have to finish drilling that thing out. All right, we've got those loose. I don't think I see anything else in here. This does spin on the shaft, so what it goes through and into, I'm not sure what it does. It's definitely... All right, let's give it a shot. All right, that popped loose from that spring. Okay. So that was the thrust. That's the thrust bearing right there, collar for that gear. Okay, that's not tight on the shaft, so that shaft can continue going that way. Okay, we're going to look close at the front end of here and make sure that there's not a plate that's got to come off behind this spindle that might be just covering that bearing up at the front, and it's the seal, and that might be what we're bouncing against. All right. Okay, I looked through the openings for the pins on the chuck adapter there, and I was able to find 2 set screws, because there is a seal plate, because it has like Lambert seals at the front and back of this lathe, and that's what keeps the oil inside the gearbox. And this is what holds those in. So I'm not sure if the spindle will come out with or without the plate loose, but I went ahead and I pulled those so that we know if it comes loose or whatever, it's not going to damage that. And that may very well be the only thing that was holding it in. I do not know yet. So we're going to give it another little tap here. All right, and it's going, and it's actually pushing that plate out. Let me move the camera here so I can show you. Okay, now I got the GoPro in here, and you can actually see that right here, that plate is starting to pop out of there. Okay, so there is something that slightly holds that, and it needs to go in all at one time. And when these things are all clean and you're assembling these things, these are supposed to go together and be able to reach in and get all of these things put in place. All right, and you also, well, I got drips and whatnot holding that in line, and then I'll be able to put it back up there after we have this off, and I'll be able to see if there's any match marks. And then once I do know that it's match marked, or I have to match mark it, I'll do that so that I know that those two tapped out holes. But then you put them up there and they might not be exactly 180 from each other. It might be a clockwork piece. It automatically lines itself up. Those are all options. I'm just talking out loud like I usually do. All right, it's going pretty easy now. That piece actually come out of there. There's the first Lambert ring you can see right there. Okay, and I can see that. Let's just make sure that Let's make sure nothing is binding in here. Nothing. That's free. That's free. Let's see here. What we got? I just want to make sure that this gear here, if that gear can come off of there. Alright, we're going to have to roll this over one way or another here. Okay, I do not see anything holding that on there, but I may not be out far enough yet. I don't know. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, that's just finding some new area there. This one here is still sliding. Okay, this was the tight one. Okay, I've come to the conclusion that this keyway, there's two of them, one on each side. When it gets to the cone, it can't let the cone come off. So we need to pass the shaft through this cone on this side, even though it feels like it's over there. I'm 100%, I'm clear on that side right there. I might drill and tap right into that plate, 2/4 20s, so that I can pull it out. Looks like the only way I'm going to get that out of there. I'm trying, I'm going to go a little bit above. Let's see if I can go. I'm going to go a little bit below this one, a little bit above that one. Give myself a little bit more in here. That other plate in the front is about that deep. Right there. Okay. Told you. Okay. Okay, I'm through both of them. All right, one of my favorite tap handles. This used to be connected like right in here. All right, I chose this one because it's a 2-stage, so it has an inner and an outer, but also too it's slender and it's long, and I can get it in situations just like this. This has been on a few Navy ships. Okay, little air nozzle. Sometimes when you get your ductile iron or cast iron, the cap is stuck, clear it out because it's just jamming. It'd be jamming. All right. I'm gonna hit this other one and I'm gonna go get a bottom tap. Okay. That was pretty good. I blew in that one and it blew out that one there, so we know we're in that cavity. Okay, I got a couple quarter 20. One's a flathead, the other's an Allen. Alright, one's a little bit longer than the other, but they both screw in about the same. Alright, I have two helpers here. Okay, I can get the long one in. Let's see. Yeah, maybe the long one's better there. And get the short one in here. Okay, there we go. Yep. Yep. Those keys couldn't go through that bearing. And that was just a little too tight to get in there. But hey, we did tap that right to the back there. Alright. Okay. I gotta pull that gear off of there so I can get that, and then we're just gonna take those two keys out of there, and I think we're gonna take the spindle right out of here. Okay, let's get this going here. What was that, 15/16? We'll probably have to get the an impact. Let's see, we're gonna need to go this way. 7/8. Where's that special tool? Keeps on working. Keeps on working. There it is. So that's the seal ring right there, and a Lambert seal, basically the kind of seals that this has got. The one thing that's really nice about them is they don't need to ever be replaced unless you beat them up. All right, that looks like 2 Woodruff keys. And if it would have been other than having that other thing barely on there, probably would have been able to get that out. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a little punch and then just kind of like make those things go right on around there. Let me test my theory here. Yep. Okay. Let me get a smaller punch. Okay, there we go. All right, now I believe this shaft will slide right out of here. Alrighty. Okay, I got my shim underneath there. We don't need all the stuff that might fall down in here while we're cruising along. All right. See, right there's where it started holding up. We are tight here, there. We can go there. Okay, yeah, what happened is we'll just get our shim back underneath here. Okay, I think we're still going, I think. Yep. All right, crank out the carriage a little more. Okay, a little shim fell out. Okay, let's just make sure that all the things need to stay free here. Okay, still looking good. There we go. Okay, this spindle now. Okay, there's one of the bearings we're going to replace. Nice Timken. We got it this far apart. I think I'm gonna rebearing this whole thing anyway. So we're gonna start looking. We're gonna start pricing, because that is gonna be your finish of your part. Okay. All right. Okay. First gear. Second gear. Okay, that collar, spacer, there's the spindle. Okay, pull gear. That cockamamie spacer. And all right, that cog's gonna stay in there with those shifter so far. And there's the Allen that we dropped out of the bottom of the oil pump. Okay, hey, what'd I tell you? There's one of those little set screws that was in the collar. Oh. Here's another one underneath that collar. Can you imagine if that went through the gears? Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it a night. Almost 10. That's a good start. All right. We do have our flat. This bench has been completely. There's just empty boxes down there. There is a couple customers' jobs. I'm making sure that I keep those out so that we can keep rolling on this project here. And I'm going to get this laid out as I go, and then we'll come to the bench and talk a little bit about what I'm finding in each of these items that we're taking out of the gearbox. As you can see that we've been looking at, there's just been some shoddy workmanship in there, and a little hack and tack, but I don't see anything so far. I don't see anything that we can't make this thing, you know. So until next time, get her done. Maybe tomorrow night.